What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again, back at it with another video. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the Philadelphia game. We play Philly tomorrow in Philly, so I wanted to go over some keys on how I think that we could beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Do I think that we will? You got to find out for the rest of the video. Now, there are some things that we got to go over in this video really quickly. As you guys know, Tae Crowder was put on the injured reserve with a hamstring injury. It's very unfortunate. Tae Crowder's been playing pretty solid in the inside linebacker position, Mr. Irrelevant. It's been coming up pretty clutch for us. He scored that game-winning touchdown against the Washington football team, it's believed that that's when he pulled his hamstring. It sucks. He's going to be out with the new injury reserve protocol. He is going to be out for 3 weeks minimum. It could be longer than that. It could just be 3 weeks. We don't know. We're going to have to see, but it really sucks that that happens. Now, the Giants went out and signed veteran defensive end Jabaal Sheard. He was on the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad. He terminated his contract with the Jacksonville practice squad to sign to our active roster. Now, he's not going to be able to play in the Philly game tomorrow due to COVID protocol. I think he has to wait 2 weeks. But this is a veteran signing. He has 55 career sacks. He could get to the QB. He does get to the QB and puts pressure on the QB. He averages about 4 to 5 sacks a year. I'm not expecting him to come in and be a game changer, but I like it. It's a nice depth signing. I wish that they probably would have signed him sooner, but you know what? It's all good. We were able to get him. I'm sure that it's on a cost-effective deal. I like the signing. Now, Sterling Shepard, he came off IR, and he's been seen in practice slowly. So hopefully we can get him back. It's looking pretty good. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But that would definitely help out Daniel Jones in the Philly game because right now we don't really have that many receivers. Darius Slayton still has that ankle injury. He's believed to play, but that ankle could give out at any moment in the game. So I would like to have Sterling Shepard on the roster. That's only going to help the depth. That's only going to help Daniel Jones' game out. But, with turf toes, it's a little bit tricky. It could be a lingering injury. But hopefully, he was able to nurse that correctly. And hopefully he can play Thursday. Let's see what happens. Now, we play Philly next week in Philadelphia. Tomorrow in Philadelphia. Got my weeks mixed up. Now, the Giants, historically, for some reason, cannot beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It sucks. Out of any team in this division, I hate the Cowboys, but I absolutely hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't like them. I don't like their fans. They can be, God, I hate them. So as much as I want the Giants and think that the Giants can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, until they prove otherwise, I got to pick Philly. Now, this team does feel a little bit different, especially defensively. They're playing a lot smarter than usually they would in recent years. There's been a lot of times in recent years where we've had the lead on Philly, and then Carson Wentz comes and brings them back. And they're usually heartbreaking losses, man. You look at what happened last year with Eli. That was a heartbreaking loss. I don't know why you don't, double Zach Ertz, knowing that that's really Carson Wentz's only target that he can throw to. But this is going to be different. They have a lot of players on the IR. Especially his two main targets, Zach Ertz and Miles Sanders, will not be playing this game. They're going to be out for a couple weeks at minimum. They may get Deshaun Jackson back, which, even though he's up there in age, he has a little bit of an injury history. He can stretch the field still. He's still got that speed on him. He's still a good wide receiver. So, I expect him, if he does play, to have some plays. But, the Eagles have a really bad offensive line. A lot of injuries on that offensive line. You can make the argument. I said in my not my last video, but the video before that, when we were going against Dallas, that at that time, Dallas had the worst offensive line that the Giants had won against, and we needed to take advantage of that. Well, Philly beat them in that. The Philadelphia Eagles, as of right now, have the worst offensive line that we will be going against so far this season, and we need to take advantage of that. The Washington football team was able to get 8 sacks against them week 1. Obviously, I'm not expecting that whatsoever. We don't have that kind of talent on this defensive line, but I do think that we can get at least 3 to 4 sacks on Carson Wentz and more pressures on Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz gets pressured, he doesn't really play too well. And right now, he doesn't really have anybody to throw the ball to. I know he still probably has Dallas Goddard, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, who hasn't really panned out for them in probably the way that they want to. Jalen Reagor is going to be out as well. So the Giants really need to take advantage of all these injuries, which I think that the Giants will. I really do think that the Giants are going to draw up a game plan with the mindset of they want to win this division. Do I think that they will? I mean, anything's possible right now, right? I mean, even with our record, we're still one game out of it for both teams right now. We're one game out of it, with Dallas losing to Arizona. But I do think that the Giants can beat them. Now, here would be how the Giants can beat them. Obviously, put pressure on Carson Wentz. This is a bad offensive line. Their main running back is not going to be in the game, and their two running backs behind them, behind Miles Sanders, have combined a total of 30 yards. So that's not that good. So I feel like if we can at least get to Carson Wentz and stop the run, we should have a fair game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Number two, now we have to establish a run game against this team. Philly's strength right now is on that defensive line. Their secondary, as usual, is suspect as hell. They do have Darius Slay, but outside of that, it's still very suspect. Their linebackers are banged up as well, but they still have a solid defensive line. If we can establish a run game, that's only going to help out that's only going to help out the passing game as well. I don't want Daniel Jones out here throwing the ball 40, 35 times. We don't need him to do that. We can establish a run game. It can keep this team balanced. It can run. It can open up the RPO. Now, I like that Jason Garrett is having Daniel Jones run the ball more. I think that he needs to be better at sliding and kind of throwing the ball away. If he's not gonna run and he's running to the outside and there's nothing there, throw the ball away. I don't want to see an incident happen to Daniel Jones where he has a concussion or anything worse than that. We don't need that. We saw him get injured last year. It was an ankle injury. We don't need that because right now we don't have a quarterback that can back up Daniel Jones. We have Colt McCoy, but I don't trust that. Um, so yeah, Daniel Jones has to be balanced in this game. That leads me to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones cannot turn the ball over in this game. He's turned the ball over in every single one of his games outside of one game. That has to change. He needs to be better at reading the defense. He needs to be smarter and throw the ball out of bounds and towards the stands. He has the strength to do it. I'm not sure why he's not doing it, but he has the strength to do it. Um, and that's really it. I think that if he could put pressure on Carson Wentz, establish the run game, which will only help the passing game, and not turn the ball over, we should have a good chance of beating Philadelphia in this game. But like I said in the beginning of this video, until the Giants prove me wrong that they can beat Philadelphia, I have to choose Philadelphia. Um, I do think that Philly will win 20-17, but I wouldn't also be surprised if the Giants do win this game. I think the Giants are playing with more heart. They seem to be the only team in this division that looks like they're headed in the right direction. That's my biased opinion, but when you look at it, you're hearing players talk about Dallas and their coaching. You're hearing rumblings about Carson Wentz and Dougie P out in Philly, and Washington doesn't have a football. I mean, doesn't have a name, let alone a quarterback. So I really do have faith in the Giants that they could turn this around. Will they beat Philly? I think it's possible, but for right now, I got to choose Philly to win this game. Let me know what you guys think below. We're going to see you guys after the game tomorrow, give you our thoughts. This is Brooklyn Hit Squad. I'll see y'all in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.